This video is aimed at advanced developers, and it shows how you can call Node services from XBasic. So Node is a very popular server-side technology for executing programs that are written in JavaScript, and there's a large number of third-party Node modules that have been written. So in this video we're going to show how from XBasic you can call Node services and consume many of the third-party Node modules that have been developed. So if you look inside the folder where Alpha Anywhere has been installed, you'll see that there's a folder there called Node Services, and you'll also notice that Node itself is automatically installed by Alpha. And the reason that Node is installed is that there are many features in Alpha Anywhere that are implemented using Node. For example, the real-time syntax checking for JavaScript is implemented using Node, etc. Certainly the MongoDB driver is also implemented using Node. But in this video we're going to show how you can write your own Node services and call them from XBasic. So if we go here and look inside the Node services module, you can see that there are a number of JavaScript files here that are part of the Alpha Anywhere environment. So these are files that are part of Alpha Anywhere. But I'm going to go here and show how we can add our own file to create our own Node service that can be called from XBasic. So you can see here I've added into the Node services folder here a file called hello.js. So this is going to be defining a new Node service called hello that we can call from XBasic. So if we go take a look at the contents of hello over here, you'll see that this is the standard syntax for how a Node module is written. You can see here exports handler, and then this particular Node service here is a trivial service that just echoes back some text that says hello and then first name, last name, which are two parameters that are passed in when this Node service is called. So let's go now to the interactive window in Alpha Anywhere and see how we can actually call this Node service. So let's go back now to the interactive window, and I'm going to just delete all of the existing text there so we can start from scratch. So the first thing that I'm going to do is dim an instance of a new object in Alpha, which is the V8 object. So I'm going to go here and say dim n as helper : V8. So this is actually the Chrome V8 engine, and the Node services functionality is built on top of this engine. So now you can see now if I go node dot, there's a method on this object here called node request. So this lets me make a request to the node object, and this request is a character string in JSON format. So let's now go and set up this request. So I'm going to go here and say dim p as p. The first thing I need to do is create a property called underbar ID. So this is required. So p dot underbar ID equals, and I can just give it any arbitrary ID. So I'm going to just use a GUID because that's easy to do. So now I've got a GUID there, and then I need to say what command I want to execute. So that's p dot underbar command, and this is a required property as well. And I'm going to go here and say hello. So this matches the name of the JavaScript file in the Node services folder. So this service here called hello is defined in this hello.js file over there. So that's the command that I want to execute, and then I can pass an arbitrary list of variables to this node command. So I'm going to go here and say p dot first name equals Fred, and then I'm going to pause here and pick it up in the next video. So we're continuing now in our video of showing how you can call Node services from XBasic, and I'm going to go here and define another parameter. So now I can create as many parameters as I want over here, and now let's create the JSON command string that we're going to pass to the node request method. So I'll go here, I'll say dim JSON command as C, and then JSON command equals JSON generate of P. And if I go look at what that looks like, you can see there's our JSON object. It's got the required ID property, and this can be any value over here. It doesn't have to be a GUID. It's got the required command property, which says which .js file in the node services folder we want to execute, and then here are our arbitrary properties, first name and last name. So now let's go here and say n.node request, and then pass in JSON command, and then you can see we get back a response from the node service. So there's the ID of the request over there, which matches that value over there. There's the error message if there had been an error. There was no error. And there's the result that says, hello there, Fred Jones. So let's go back now and see how we can then extract the result from this. So instead of emitting this, let's go here and say text equals, and now we have that. And now what we can do is we can either pass this text, so we could go here and say dim p2 as p2 equals JSON pass of text, and then question mark p2 dot result, which gives us that, or we can call the JSON extract function. So JSON extract and then text, and we want to extract the result property. So basically there's the result over there. So now let's go and take a look at how this actual node module was actually written. So now we're going to go back to our text editor and look inside the hello.js function. So let's go over to our text editor here, and then this is the hello.js function that we've created. So this is the standard syntax for writing a node module. So exports.handler this is just node code, and this function here we're going to specify that it takes 3 arguments: packet, response, and then send response. And then packet represents the data that was passed in, the arbitrary data, p.firstname, p.lastname, etc. So you can see here we're creating a JavaScript string called message, and we refer to packet.firstname and packet.lastname, and then we just basically send our response. We say response.result equals message, and then we do a send response. So in this case you can see it's a trivially simple node module, but it could be very complex, and you could use require and then require any node modules that you've installed from Node Package Manager, etc. So now let's go and make some change to this file. So I'll go here and I'll say hello there, and then let's maybe put, say, a bold tag around that over there, and then plus, and then /b. Okay, and now we've made a change. Now we've made some change to our hello.js file, but I still need to go and stop the node service and then restart it so that this change gets picked up. So let's pause now and pick this up in the next video. So we're continuing now with our video on calling node services from XBasic, and we've just made a change now to our node file. But if we go back to the interactive window over here and we make the request, we'll see that the node file response is still based on the original definition of node.js, because you need to stop and restart the node server before any changes to the JavaScript files are picked up. So I'm going to go here and say n.node shutdown, which stops the node service, and then when I run this again, you'll see that there's a slight delay the first time because the service is starting up, but now there's our change has been implemented, and then of course the second time that I call it, it's practically instantaneous. So what we've shown in this video is how you can extend XBasic yourself by writing your own node services that can be called from XBasic, and you can implement the standard node module syntax using any third-party node modules that you want to download from the Node Package Manager. And we've shown how you can basically add some really interesting functionality to XBasic by calling into functionality offered by Node. Thanks very much for watching.